It was a dark and stormy night, but actually it's a summery, warm morning when I'm recording The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD, Tree Heart Run Edition. And when we last left off, it was about a month ago when I recorded this game last, which means that in order to find out what the password was, I had to look up the video again where I did it. What I'm actually doing right now, in case you haven't noticed, is I'm actually playing with the Wii U Pro controller because I have it, and because Mini Minchino was like, you should totally try out the Wii U Pro controller, so that's what I'm doing. So we'll see how that goes. What I want to do here as well is, since it's night time, I've heard tell that there's a different sale you can get here at the auction house, and I wanted to see if you could actually do that already, or if that's something you can only do later in the game. Okay, I guess you can't do it, because he's like, oh, it's a dark and stormy night, so I'm too scared to do business with you, I guess, but, yeah. This is actually, funny enough, like, the first part of this that I've recorded since putting up any of the other episodes, really funnily enough. So there's that. So thank you very much to everybody for watching the parts up until now, especially for the amazingly warm reception that both this and Final Fantasy X got from all of you guys upon release. Who cleans pirates' ears? Swabbies with a capital S. Excuse me, why can't... Oh, I have to use, like, the D-pad? Okay, that's strange. I'm, like, thinking of, like, Breath of the Wild here. I was trying to, like, push in the control stick to make it go all capital letters or whatever. Swabbies, plural. Yeah, that's okay. I find it really strange that you have to use the D-pad all of a sudden instead of the control stick. Now it's time for me, just like in the original LP, to not remember what Nico's voice is. But first of all, what it's time to do is to go in and see what Tetra's room looks like in the HD edition. Because you have all this cool stuff. Like here you have like the Triforce thing, the Triforce treasure chart. You have what looks like an embarrassing snapshot of SpongeBob at Christmas party. No. You have, I don't know who that could be. Which I wonder whether that's like Tetra's mother, or whether it's supposed to be like Impa or something, or this game's equivalent of Impa. That's the only, I only ever thought of that right now though. Like I never used to think of Impa before, but ever since like, I suppose ever since that terrible game, Skyward Sword, Impa has finally got a little bit of time in the limelight, as she deserves, because she was a kick-ass character in Ocarina of Time as well, and in Oracle of Ages and Seasons, lest we forget. Oh my god, the best Impa ever. Oh, Harry, me old swabby Harry. He's just gonna be Mr. Krabs now, why not? Can I be Mr. Krabs? So you're alive. All the other pirates said you'd gone with the bird monster on Forsaken Fortress, so I thought, never mind, you're alive. Oh, I get it now. You came back because you want to play that song again. I had no idea you wanted to be my swabby again. I see. Yeah, sure, man. Which one? Well, after you left, I went back to being bottom rung on the ladder, which is why I'm stuck here while everyone else is in the town having fun and eating and stuff. But I guess being so worshipped by... What? Worshipped with one P looks very strange. Shouldn't it have like two P's? But I digress. Alright, why don't we set you on your next test? It's going to be harder than the last test. I can take on 500 challenges is what I can do. Well, last time when you pressed the switch, platforms rose up for you to jump onto. Now there aren't any, which means you'll have to jump from one rope to the next rope. This is probably actually easier in this version of the game than it was in the original version of the game. Precisely because of the way that the controls are after being changed. I must say, despite Empolo 18's advice, I'm on like the Wii U Pro controller right now. And I still have like my index fingers on the Z or and ZL, and I just have my middle fingers like underneath, like up, like in like the little. I'm like caressing it right now in like the little recess before that, if you know what I mean. It's like very hard to explain, but that's just for me. That's like seems to be like the I have to like I have to stop. How do I stop? Oh, or Z or, because I was like too high up. I was like too high up on the thing. They swing like really like crazy right to left, don't they? Because this one's gonna come back over there now. I can just grab onto that. But this like swinging, this changing direction while you're swinging is crazy. I don't know, that just seems to be like the way it makes most sense to me anyway to hold the controller. I'm just gonna go right down to the end of this one because I don't want to end up like hitting my head off the ceiling or something with this. That clock is gonna start going in a second, I can just feel it. Yes, I made it. But yeah, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I just, what I feel is like so he was like, oh, the index finger should be on the L and OR, and your middle finger should be on the Z, L and Z, OR. But when I do that, and I'm doing it like right now, I feel almost like I feel like there's no support, if you know what I mean, because like my ring finger and little finger are like clutched around like the two handlebars of the controller. I don't know what way to describe it, and it feels like the top half of the controller is like falling down almost, whereas if I put my middle fingers, like if I really grip the handlebars with my ring finger, little finger and middle finger, and then just use my my index finger to do all of the trigger buttons, then it feels like more supported. It doesn't feel like it's going to like fall out of my hands or something like that. So I guess that was always my issue with it. And the Wii U gamepad is even heavier, so that was even more so my issue then. So yeah, I don't know. I just skipped Nico's dialogue entirely, but you guys are all of the age where you should be able to read without me telling you what it says on the screen. And we got bombs. Oh my god, my throat. It's these like early morning recording sessions, I tell you. It is currently 8:33 AM. And it is... Sorry, I need to cough. And it is the 20th of May, Sunday. And so that'll tell you when, if I look in like the Finder on my, on Enya here, when like the first part of Wind Waker was created on like the 10th of the 4th, so it's like over a month ago that I started recording this. That's mighty courageous of you, trying to steal treasure from pirates. We're not it was a present, it was a gift. I guess I should be thankful, but I'm more amazed that you managed to survive after being tossed out of that tower. From the look on your face, I have to guess you haven't saved your sister yet, huh? You don't give things much thought, do you? Just rush in, never thinking how badly things could go for you. Yeah, cause it's the Triforce of Courage, bitch. Like just now, the only reason you got what you did was because we left a simple-minded little rat. Oh, look at him, he does look like a little rat. No one else would have parted with our treasure so easily. I love the way he does like the little arms fold thing, like in dismay. He's like, oh, don't say that. Why you gotta do me like that? And just how do you intend to use those bombs anyway? Don't tell me you're going after Jablin's treasure too. Right now Jablin is hiding in a cave at the back of the island you were born on. But the entrance is blocked by a giant stone doorway. You can't get in without breaking down the door. We're going to relax in town and eat our fill of whatever this town has to offer, but we'll be leaving for Outset first thing in the morning. If you manage to find Jablin tonight, then I guess you win. I'm telling you, I'm gonna win. Hang on a sec, I just need to check something. Cause like it was recorded on the 10th. When was like the first part uploaded? The first part was uploaded on the 28th, so almost a month ago. Okay. So almost a month ago, I uploaded like the first part, and as I say, I haven't like recorded this game since before then. If you take too long, we'll come sailing right by you tomorrow morning, and believe me, you didn't get all of our bombs. Jesus. You better be quick, kid. I guess I should be thankful for the bombs. Anyway, I'm gonna say Seal wouldn't want to be you, Nico. And of course, as is tradition, I'm going to lock him into the room, so he'll be like, wait, no, please, let me out. And then he'll have to hope that, like, when the other pirates come back, they're probably going to come back after a night of revelry, and they're just all going to be, they're all going to be 3 sheets to the wind, so to speak, and they're just not going to let him out because it'll be a really funny joke is what it's going to be. So yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much all we've got to do here in Windfall Island. I'm just going to make sure to get off the right place here. There is... So basically what we've got to do now is get to Outset Island. But there is... On the way to Outset Island, I wouldn't really mind... Oh god, I'm like walking into the wall. I wouldn't really mind going to Southern Fairy Island on the way there. Just to make sure... Oh, wait, is he not going to let me in till I talk to him? Yeah, there we go. Well done, our preparations are complete, Junior. If what the girl says is true, the pirates won't be leaving until morning. You must meet with Jabun and get the pearl from him before they arrive. Let us delay no longer. Oh, I won't delay. So yeah, I kind of want to go to... This is actually, like, way more comfortable than the Wii U gamepad. Mini Minchino was right. It's like, who cares about having, like, the treasure chart? That was like one of the things I never liked about I'm just gonna go south is what I'm going to do. That was like one of the things. Now how do I put the sail up? A, okay. Get used to these controls all over again. That was one of the things I never really liked about a lot of games on the Wii U, is that it forces you to kind of like look up and down. Like, you have one thing in your hands you're supposed to be looking at, and it'd be one thing if it was just like menus and things like that, but a lot of the games kind of like no, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to like look at the map. Is that how I look at the map? Okay. So wait a second, wait one cotton pick a minute here. I think, like, isn't Southern Fairy Island just like right... I think it's like right down here somewhere, so we're just gonna keep like going in a straight line here, guys. Keep an eye on our time. I don't want it to be like the longest recording session known to man. But yeah, the reason I want to go there is just to get like a couple more bombs. Because as you can see up there on the left hand side, we have 30 at the moment, but just like calling by Southern Fairy Island on the way there. Okay, I want to stay away from that. Definitely, because I don't have anything that I can fight him with. Not until we like do the next dungeon, which isn't going to be for a little while. Okay, hello, Sea Octorok. Like the most unthreatening enemy in the entire game. Like, I swear, I don't think I've ever been hit by one of those things. In all my years of playing this game and its predecessor, I don't think I've ever been hit by one of those Sea Octoroks in my life. But yeah, even just like swinging by Southern Fairy Island, we'll be able to get a bomb upgrade up to 60, which just makes it a lot more comfortable to do the next part of the game, because when we have to like break open that wall to get into where Jabun is, I don't want to have to worry about my bomb capacity or my bomb reserves. I just basically want to be able to shoot like a maniac and blast that thing wide open. So, as I said, like, one of the things that wasn't my favorite thing about the Wii U, like, I love the Wii U gamepad, but I just never found it comfortable to, in the middle of the game, kind of be made to look up and down at the gamepad, if you know what I mean. So in games like I actually prefer to go into a start menu. Like, they sell it as like a thing of convenience. Like, you don't even have to go into the start menu to look at the map. And it's like, yeah, but I kind of find it useful to go into the start menu to look at the map, because it kind of gives you the downtime you need to really peruse the map and see what's going on or whatever. And I actually don't like having to do things on the fly without pausing the game time, so that kind of way. So, I don't know, like, to be honest, I can see myself playing this with the Wii U Pro controller rather than the gamepad. To be perfectly honest, I'm gonna have to look out for on the horizon here, because they have like quite a distinctive shape. Like, that's one of the triangle islands, I can tell already. We've got all these fat heads It's time to say it again. It's like it's home of the fatheads, everybody. They should just erect a 50-foot billboard here that reads home of the fatheads. Can you please like leave me alone? They were like all just like bumping up against, like shoving up against me here. It's like, Jesus, they're going, he's like coming right at me. It's like they really should erect a 50-foot billboard here that reads home of the fatheads. I think that's it. Like, I think I see it there in the distance. Like, I thought it, when the lightning flashed there, I thought I saw... Yeah, that's definitely a fairy island. Jeez. You've really got to, like, work to avoid those things sometimes, because there's just so many of them. They're just everywhere. One of the funniest enemy designs they've ever had in a Zelda game, those sea hats. Because they just have, like, these hilarious faces. They're just like a giant fish with a little propeller on top. But yeah. Home of the fatheads, it had to come up eventually, didn't it? They might as well just erect a 50-foot billboard there that reads home of the fatheads. Am I going to even be able to get in here? I'm pretty sure the only prerequisite for getting, stop. I'm gonna have to get you. I have like the original controls from the original game so hardwired into my brain that like so hardwired into my brain that that I still keep getting like confused. Like I keep pressing like A to get out of the boat, when actually it's like B to get out of the boat. It's so like A does the complete opposite. Like A does the complete opposite. It makes you set sail again. Anyway, here we are, our first great fairy of the game. All of like the bloom lighting in this is crazy. Like I think that's the thing that makes like the most difference. That makes it look so much more different is all of like the bloom lighting, like all of this glowy stuff that's going on here. Young waker of the winds, allow at least they're not Uma Thurman this time. Allow me to aid you in your quest. Geez, they keep it like short and sweet in this game, I forgot. They don't have like this big like convoluted emergence sort of animation like Uma Thurman in The Adventures of Baron von Munchausen. They just like pop up out of the ground. That actually looks really cool. Like with the little chain hanging off it, it didn't look that detailed in the original at all. The fairies in this fountain shall ease your weariness. When you grow fatigued from your battles, come here to be refreshed. As I said, I'm not planning on using bottled fairies in this run through. Potions, that's another thing. Hero soup, that's another thing. I'm pretty sure that's all above board. But for me, I think like one of the points of a 3-heart run is that you don't die, that kind of way. I think that's the challenge of it, is that you don't die. And for me, having like fairies in a bottle, and I'm just gonna like change the wind direction to I'm just gonna, no, that's the wrong one. I'm just gonna change the wind direction to southwest here. What was I even saying? One of the points of like a 3-heart run is that you just don't die, that kind of way. And I feel like if I use like fairies in a bottle, like that would be the equivalent of just like dying and coming back to life and dying again. So it will kind of like take the challenge out of it, if you know what I mean. Okay, I really have to like get used to these controls. It's like so crazy. It's not crazy, like the controls aren't weird. It's just like my like perception of the controls in comparison to what the controls used to be is what's weird, if you know what I mean. Like that's the only way I can describe it, because like the controls for the original on the GameCube are so hardwired into my brain. Okay, which one of these on the left is like Headstone Island or Earth Island or whatever, and which one of these on the right is Outset Island or Prolo Island or whatever? Gonna have to have like another look. Well, I'm going in the right direction. It's actually this one, it seems, because they're actually quite big. Like Headstone Island or Earth Island or whatever you want to call it, Like, for an island with pretty much nothing on it but the entrance to the Earth Temple and a piece of heart, it's actually a really, like, cool looking island. It has this big kind of sculptural quality. Like, it's almost like a diorama. It's like this big kind of, like, I don't know what to call it. It's like a stage almost, and it has like these rising columns on the left and right going up towards the back. Like, it's just like quite impressive looking, whereas a lot of the islands in this game, the islands themselves aren't very impressive looking. One of the ones that is really impressive looking, I have to say, is like Diamond Step Island. That's probably one of the coolest looking islands there is in the game, just architecturally. And again, like that, it's like this real kind of like sculptural looking thing with different levels going up from the bottom, or from the front of the island, I guess. But yeah, there are other like cool looking islands like Rockspire Isle and Cliff Plateau Isles and things like that. But like, some of them are just kind of like, you know, like regular old an island, you know, that kind of way. And like, maybe they look like something cool when you see them from above, but like, otherwise they're just not very fascinating as far as the terrain is concerned. Have you noticed, Harry? Morning has not broken since we arrived at Great Fish Isle. The land was so ravaged by monsters as if time itself is frozen. Perhaps this is the curse that Valu spoke of. Whatever the reason, if this night does not end, then we need not worry about the pirates overtaking us. In fact, it might not be a bad idea for you to visit your hometown and family again after such a long time away. We can speak with Jabin after you do. Okay, oh, I actually have to do this. Anyway, we'll do that in the next part. I think this part is like long enough as it is, but we got quite a bit done, so. We've arrived back home. It's still a dark and stormy night here on Outset Island. Link is like looking up the sky going like, will this rain ever stop? But yeah, I guess I'll like see you next time on Wind Waker HD Tree Heart Run. I'm gonna get in like under a tree here because I'm starting to feel bad for Link just standing up. Jesus. I'm starting to like feel bad for Link. I'm starting to feel bad for Link, like standing just out under the rain. I'm gonna put him in here under this tree so he at least has a little bit of shelter. Yeah, bye now.